Hi guys, welcome to this episode of the Happy Knitting Podcast. My name is Julia and I'm coming to you from Germany. Today is the 13th of April 2017. Whoa, that was complicated. I'm recording today on a Thursday, which is kind of unusual, but if you've been watching for a while, you know that lately nothing has been usual because ever since I started working in my new full-time job, it's just been a little bit more crazy. So it's been almost 2 weeks since I last recorded. And I think in the future, sometimes I might record weekly, sometimes it might be every second week. That's just the way it's going to be. But I'm so happy to be talking to you guys today because there's quite a lot of stuff to show you guys and to talk about. So if you're watching for the first time, thank you so much for trying out my podcast. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for doing that. This episode is pretty much off the cuff, so apologies in advance for anything crazy that might happen throughout. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about some administrative stuff. So the Geeky Sock Along prizes and winners have been announced 2 weeks ago, and I think everyone got in touch with me. So I have sent out the physical prizes that I had, and I have put everyone else in touch with the people who donated prizes. So all of that should be taken care of. Thanks again to everyone who did donate a prize or took part in the cow. So I have decided to start a new knit-along because I just really enjoy doing knit-alongs and I prefer to send out prizes that way rather than just having random giveaways. So really I had a few ideas in mind, and what convinced me was, what do I really want to knit on at the moment? And honestly, it's been crazy, it's been stressful, I've been working a lot, and all I want to knit on is vanilla socks. And I've been knitting a lot of textured socks, so that might be why. So I've decided to just have an off-the-cuff vanilla socks knit along just for fun. Just knit a pair of vanilla socks, and that will enter you into the prize drawings. Talking about prizes, I haven't decided on anything yet. I have a few things, and I'm always open for prize donations, but like I just said, I just decided this pretty randomly. So we're going to have a vanilla knit-along, vanilla sock knit-along. It will go until the end of May, so you have about 6 weeks, which should be plenty to knock out a pair of vanilla socks. You can, of course, double dip, triple dip, and you can enter as many vanilla socks as you want, as you can knit in that time. But for this one, I think I want like, there's not going to be any whips allowed, so just start a new pair of socks, or if you watch this later in the month, if the socks have been started after, let's say, the 15th of April, they will count towards the knit-along. So for those of you who don't know what vanilla socks are, vanilla just means that it's a sock that is in plain stockinette. And yeah, the sun is coming in, so sorry for the crazy lighting. It should be back to normal pretty quickly because, yeah, we have crazy weather today. So that's exciting. I think I'm going to call the cow something like Keeping It Vanilla Cow, or at least that's what I'm thinking at the moment, but I am up for any name suggestions. And I will create a Ravelry thread, and then we will just add the hashtag and the final name and the prizes and everything as we go, because I just haven't had time. So yay, I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to start a new pair of vanilla socks. So with that, I should probably tell you where you can find all that. All the knit-alongs and the show notes and anything you might need for this podcast can be found in the Ravelry group, which is called the Happy Knitting Podcast group on Ravelry. So that should be pretty simple to find. So let's just jump into some knitting. I have so much yarn here. I have this like mountain of new yarn, which is super exciting, but also kind of sidetracking me. And this light is freaking me out. We'll see if it gets better. If not, I might have to work on the blinds. So I have so many things in progress. First of all, I am finally beyond the garter section of my amulet shawl. So you might remember that I've been knitting on the first section for what feels like ages and couldn't push through, but I finally pushed through. So this is the amulet shawl by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. This was part of her Shawl Society Part 1 last year, and I'm only now getting around to knitting it. So last week I was still working on this top section, which is kind of hard to show because my needles aren't super long. And as you can see, bunched up here, I reached the second section, which was this eyelet section. And now I'm on the third section, which is sort of like a ribbed texture. And this is super difficult to show. But you can get an idea. So it's a 2-colored shawl. It has 4 sections altogether. So I'm about halfway through the third section, and then I'll be on to the lace border. And ever since I got through the garter stitch, it's been going pretty fast. I'm really enjoying this knit. This yarn is from Spirit Trail Fiberworks. It's a merino cashmere and silk base, so it is super cozy and soft and has a slight halo, and I'm really enjoying this yarn. It's sort of between a fingering on a lace weight yarn, so I'm kind of improvising with gauge and hoping that the yarn will be enough. But so far I think it might just work out. So I'm really excited about this project, and I've kind of sometimes felt like knitting on it, but not all the time. But after seeing some photos of 2 finished shawls like this from a viewer, which looked just so amazing, I'm really motivated to get this finished and block it out and then wear it. So that's my amulet shawl. Next, I have Kai's socks, which you saw last episode, which was 2 weeks ago. So this is a pair of 2 at a time top-down socks for my boyfriend Kai. And the yarn that I'm using for this is Ponderosa Wolle, who is a German indie dyer. And this is in her normal sock base, which is a 75-25 wool and polyamide blend. Colorway is Licht und Schatten. And these are pulling like crazy, and I don't care. So as you can see, I did a 2x2 rib, which got this sort of strapping effect. And then on the top of the sock, I was knitting a 6x2 rib, because Kai's socks tend to be too loose on his legs. So I was doing a 6x2 rib and then put in a Fischlipskes heel. Again, really fun stripes. I thought that was awesome. But then honestly, this stupid rib just kept on slowing me down so much. I'm not particularly liking the sock base. I have knit quite a few pairs out of it, but I just prefer the luxury base, and that combined with the ribbing was just a pain. So what I did was I faded out the ribbing, because on his feet Kai doesn't really need the extra stretchiness. So as you can see, I kind of stopped the ribbing or the purl stitches on the outside first and then on the inside. So now I'm just knitting plain stockinette, and ever since doing that, these socks are going so much faster. And yeah, also like with this, I just really wanted to have some vanilla socks, so I'm super excited about these now. Changing back to vanilla has just made all the difference. I also really like how it's pulling. I think it's really awesome, and I know that Kai likes this sort of crazy pulling, so I'm not worried about that. And yeah, I just need to finish the foot and hit a toe, and that'll be it. So these are on 68 stitches on 2.25mm US size 1 needles. And I'm knitting them 2 at a time, as you can see. How fun are they? It's so funny because Kai has a very similar pair of socks, but they are knit out of a wool and linen sock yarn blend, so they are not holding up too great. So I'm happy to knit him some replacement socks. My other 2 projects are ones that you haven't seen, so I'll start with the socks. I'm really excited about these. So as you might know, Mina Phillip has the New York Sock Club, which is a monthly sock pattern subscription. So she released her second pattern on, what do we have? April 1st. And it took me a couple of days to get into to start these socks because I had so many things on the needles, which reminds me, I haven't shown you my finished object. Anyways, but I finally cast on her second pair, which is the Avenues socks. And this is so pretty. She released this pattern in 2 versions. There's a stacked version and a staggered version. So this little stitch that makes this pattern special is either lined up or it's staggered. And when I saw people knitting up the staggered version, I just thought that looked so amazing, so I immediately had to cast that on. So I'm hoping you can see the texture because it's really beautiful. I'm so in love with this. I feel like I might use this pattern all the time because it just creates a really interesting effect with this slightly variegated yarn. So I did the front with the texture stitch and the back is just plain stockinette. And just for fun, I put in a fish lips kiss heel but in garter stitch. So Mina does this quite a lot and I've been wanting to try it. And it just made sense to try it with one of her sock patterns. So I just knit a very standard fish lips kiss heel, but I just knit every row instead of purling every second row. And that's literally all I did. And I've tried it on and it fits really good. So I'm really happy about these socks. This is the first one, but I'm really enjoying the rhythm of the pattern. And the yarn that I'm using is from Manos del Uruguay in colorway A8686. It also has a name, but I can't pronounce it, but it is in my project page. But I got this in the beginning of the year, and I immediately thought this has to be my Easter socks, because the colors are just so springy and Eastery, so it just made sense to cast it on, and I'm really enjoying this yarn. I've knit with it once before, and it's just a very nice, luxurious sock yarn, and I think it's really, really fun. Also, I barely ever knit anything in green for myself. I don't think I have any green socks. So this is kind of fun. It's kind of out of my comfort zone. So yeah, these are the Avenue socks. Again, knit on 2.25mm US size 1 needles. And I'm knitting the medium size, I believe, which is a 66 stitches sock. So that's that. I can't forget to show you my finished object. I completely forgot about that. I'm so out of this podcasting thing. So before I do that, let's just finish with the works in progress. So this is a new project, and as you can see, it's kind of way too big for this bag by now. And I'm really excited to share this with you. So you might or might not remember a couple of weeks or months ago, I went through all of my minis, and most of them I sorted by colors and created this magic cake full of gradient sort of minis. So lots of people ask me about that. I literally just wound up the minis and joined them with a magic knot, which is a technique that you can find on YouTube and Google. Just look it up. So I just joined a massive amount of minis, and that was it. I think I had about 250 grams of yarn, and I used only like either speckled or variegated or solid colors. So no self-patterning yarns, because that wouldn't really make sense. So I've been wanting to knit something out of this for ages, and I decided to knit the outline wrap, which is a wrap that I've been wanting to knit for a while as well. It is a free pattern, which you can find on the website of Hedgehog Fibers. I will link it in the show notes. I think it's also on YouTube, on Ravelry. But it's called Outline, and it is free. It's a really fun pattern. It's super, super easy to memorize, but you still do something every row, so it's not boring. So as you can see, I've been slightly obsessed with this. So I started out with this sort of white, pink, purple section, and then it got into the reds and the oranges, and now I'm going into the purple. So this thing is already quite huge, and I'm planning to block this out quite a lot. And how fun is it? And most of these minis that I have in here have some sort of special significance, either by the people who sent them to me or because I use them in projects. So this is just super fun. At the moment it looks a little bit crinkled up because it's been stuffed into my project bag, but once I block this, I think it's going to be so, so fun. I'm absolutely obsessed with this, and if you've been wanting to do a scrappy project, this might definitely be an option for you, because you could do this with any kind of yarn or quantities. It's sort of like a Cozy Memories blanket or a Granny Stripe blanket, except you're knitting a wrap. So I'm really enjoying it, and like I said, the pattern is super easy to memorize, but not just plain garter stitch, which would drive me nuts personally. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm using 3.5mm needles. I'm actually not sure if that's what's recommended. I just always use 3.5mm US size 4 when I'm knitting with fingering weight yarn. So yeah, I am so excited to keep going on this. As you can tell, it's going to go in more into like the blues, and I think it ends on like a beige. So it's going to be really interesting, and I can't wait to wear this, especially next winter, to have like this super colorful accessory. I'm just very, very excited about this. And yeah, like I said, I'm just using magic knots, and I'm literally just cutting off the ends and hoping nothing will happen. I'm not, like, sometimes of course the joints will be in the middle of a row, but this is a Scrappy project, so I really don't care. I know I could do a neater job with weaving in all of the ends and all that, but I just don't have the time. And I don't care. So that's my outline wrap, and that's it for my works in progress. So weird, I've always done finished objects first, and this is the first time in 2 years, I believe, that I forgot to show you my finished objects. So, of course, a pair of socks. This is yarn from Nora George Yarns in the UK. It was a sock set in her pheasant colorway. So this is what her logo looks like. She has beautiful yarns. This is in her plus base, which is a superwash merino and nylon base. And I really enjoy her base as well. And as you can see, I just knit a pair of vanilla socks. I have no idea why I didn't put them on sock blockers, but you get the idea. I did the cuff and the heels, which are afterthought heels, in the contrast color, and everything else in the main color. It's a stockinette sock. And yeah, I'm really enjoying these. I think I did about 80, actually I think 90 rows of stockinette for the legs. So these have quite long legs, but still I have about 45 grams of yarn left, so that's enough to knit another pair of shorty socks or something, which makes me really happy. But yeah, I can't wait to wear these. I have no idea, I completely forgot about these. I finished them on our trip last weekend and then just kind of put them aside. But yeah, so they are my finished object for the week, or for in the last 2 weeks, I suppose. And I really, really enjoyed this yarn. Before I move on to acquisitions, I realize it is the middle of April, but I forgot to tell you guys about my yarn stats last 2 weeks ago, last episode. So in case you are interested, in March I finished 7 pairs of socks and 1 sweater. But that doesn't mean I started all of that in March. I just literally count whenever I finish something. But I think now, lately, I haven't had as much time to knit, so I'm expecting my knitting stats to go down slightly. But yeah, so let's talk about some acquisitions. So I'm back and ready to talk about some acquisitions, and I've changed the lighting, so hopefully now it's much better, because the sun was just coming in and it was making it very difficult. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the third skein of the Western Sock Club by Herbstblatt Regina. So if you have been in the club and you haven't seen it yet, please look away, because I'm going to show it. But I have had it for about 2 weeks, so I imagine that most people, at least in Germany or within Europe, should have gotten it. So this is the last skein of her Western inspired sock yarn club, and this is my favorite by far. This is so beautiful. As with the 2 other skeins, it has a sort of vintage feeling to it, but this time it has these rosy tones, and I absolutely love this. I was so excited when I opened this skein. I did love the other 2 as well, but this is definitely my favorite. It's just so pretty. It's called Bambi and Trinity, and honestly, I have no idea about Western, so I don't get any of the references, but I don't care. The yarn is beautiful. It's on her Hazel soft sock base, which is an 80/20, and I haven't used any of the yarns that I got from her yet, so I'm excited to try it out sometime soon, because it feels super squishy and soft and beautiful. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. Then the next thing I got was a bit of a splurge. I actually ordered this a couple of weeks back. I knew that Amy of Stranded Dye Works was going to have an update that night, and as you might remember, I just finished a pair of socks from one of her sock blanks, and that was the first and only time that I managed to knit with her yarn. And it just so happened that I was on my computer like 2 minutes after her update time, and then, of course, what did you expect? I found the perfect colorway that I've been wanting all the time, and it was actually reduced. So I just went for it. This is Amy's, what's it called? Batcave colorway, which is Batman inspired, and how awesome is that? And I realized that I'm getting this sort of line because this is where the blinds are opening, so oh well. I've been wanting this colorway so badly. I think it used to be a one of a kind, and then she made it a regular. And this was reduced because there's a little bit of purple or something on here, which meant that I could actually afford to get my first ever skein of MCN yarn from Amy. So this is in her merino nylon cashmere fingering weight base, and it is so soft and so beautiful, and I can't find whatever is supposed to be wrong with this skein. It looks perfect to me, and I'm just incredibly excited about this. And because you never only buy one skein of yarn and shipping has to be worthwhile, I checked, and she also had the other colorway that I really have been wanting for ages in her store, so I had to also grab a skein of flamingo legs. This is, I think, her most popular colorway. It's just so fun, and I've been wanting it for ages, and this is on her superwash merino nylon. I believe this base is called, what's it called? I used to know this stuff and I forgot. I think this is Oasis fingering and this is Paradise fingering. So two different bases, both of them are incredibly smooth and soft and beautiful, and I can't wait to knit with these yarns. You guys, I'm so excited about this. And I should probably show you her card as well, so you know what I'm talking about. Amy is in the UK, and I think she just started a UK knit along or something like that. So that'll give me the perfect excuse to cast one of these guys on. But I actually have a lot of yarn from the UK. But maybe for the keeping it vanilla curl, maybe one of these will be a pair of socks. We will see. I'm really excited about these, as you might be able to tell. It was actually really funny. These arrived last Friday, and last Friday after work we immediately went to drive home to my family's place. And the package was there, and I was in such a rush. I actually left the package unopened, knowing that it was this yarn on my desk for 2 days, and my family and boyfriend, everyone was so impressed that I managed to do that. And then when we got home and I had a bit of a Monday blues, I got to open these skeins, and they're really, really pretty. So that's my yarn from Amy. I'm so sorry about the light today. It just keeps on changing, but there's just nothing I can do. Also, yes, I have been buying and getting lots of yarn, I will admit. But ever since I designed a shawl, my second shawl pattern last year, which was the Squishalicious shawl, and I think that was in like May or June. That was the first time I used sock yarn from Das Mondschaf, who is another German indie dyer. And I absolutely loved the yarn and only ever had one skein of it and used it up. And ever since then, I've been wanting to buy some more sock yarn from her. And yes, it's been like almost a year. But the other day, she had a shop update and she had all the colorways that I wanted. So I went ahead and grabbed myself some yarn from Mondschaf. So I got 3 skeins. All of them are in her Pegasus sock base, which is her 75, it says 70% wool, 25% polyamide. That doesn't add up. But I'm actually making it 75-25, but it is incredibly soft sock yarn. And she just redid her logos or her tags, and I think they're really pretty. So anyways, I got 3 skeins. This one is called Childlike Empress, and you can see why I liked it. It's very, very pink, and then it has these fun speckles going through it. And yeah, it's just beautiful. I've never knit socks out of her yarn before, so I'm really excited about that. And this is her logo, Das Mondschaf. She's in Germany, and you know how much I love German indie dyes. Then I also grabbed this skein, which was totally enabled by Sarah, who is Sarah Linde on Instagram. I think she had this in her sparkle base, but it's such a beautiful colorway. Probably nothing, it's not something that would jump at me, but when I saw it on Instagram, I really liked it. So this is called Rapture, I believe. Yes, same base, very dark, and then again has these flecks of pinks. So actually these two would go really well together, I think. And then this colorway I've been wanting forever. It's called Einhornpups, which means unicorn fart, which in itself is enough reason to buy this yarn. But it's this white base with sort of neon speckles, and they're just so fun, and I just needed to have it. So yeah, I'm super excited about this yarn as well. All of the yarns that I have with me today, I absolutely love. But don't these 3 actually go together so well? I'm not planning to use them in a project together, but I totally could, because yeah, I feel like they add up really, really nicely. I think that does look really good. We'll see. All of these are for my stash right now. I don't really have any plans yet. I know that lots of people buy yarn specific for projects, and I tend to do the opposite. I just buy and then figure out what to do with it later. And with sock yarn, especially soft sock yarn like this, you can do anything. So I'm sure I'll use it for something. I've definitely been compensating for not having enough knitting time by just buying more yarn, which is kind of insane. So that's all the stuff that I bought. Actually, no, I'm lying. But anyways, last weekend, I got a super lovely Instagram message from Clara, who is in Berlin, and she just opened her indie dyeing yarn business. And she said that she wanted to send me some yarn to try out and to say thank you for the podcast, and it was just so sweet. So we chatted on Sunday, and I think on Tuesday the package was here, which was incredibly fast. So she had just opened her Etsy store, and sorry not sorry for the crinkling, she sent me a whole bunch of stuff. First of all, I'll show you her logo. It's called Studio C Yarn, and like I said, it's based out of Berlin in Germany. And she sent me these gorgeous stitch markers. They're so pretty, aren't they? I love that they have the golden lobster claws. I think they're so pretty, and I can't wait to use them. And the way that they're presented, everything came so beautifully packaged and set up. It's just, I love these small details, especially because I'm not very good at this sort of stuff. So she sent me some stitch markers and some minis, which I left wrapped because they're just so pretty like that. So these will go into my blanket. And then she did send this skein of yarn, and yes, I have taken it out of the package, but then I put it back in. But I had to feel how soft this yarn is. It's a merino, soft merino, a smooth merino 4-ply. It's a merino and nylon blend. And this colorway is Hello, Wake Up, It's a Sunny Day. So this is super Eastery, and I think this will be for a giveaway. It's just so pretty. You can see all the colors. They're very, very springy, and look at how beautiful it's all packaged up really nicely. So I'm just going to keep it like that and use it for a giveaway, which will be hard because it's so pretty. I kind of want to keep it. And then Clara also sent this, which is super fun. This is a matching set of 2 gradient cakes out of sock yarn. So you can make, or I can make, 2 matching gradient socks, which is so cool. I love the colors, again, kind of out of my comfort zone, but they're really, really gorgeous. So I think I'm going to keep this one for myself and try it on out. It's on her same base, and the colorway is called, what is it called? Let's see. Potion Class, Identical Speckled Fade. So I just love the way that she does this, like her packaging and everything is just so well made. And especially for such a new business, I think that's really awesome. She also sent me some teas and a lovely note, and what happened was, it was kind of crazy, but I was so excited about this yarn. I had no idea what she was going to send me. So I went to her Etsy store to see what she has in store right now. And I may have ordered some more, and it may have arrived today. This yarn shipped so fast, it's kind of incredible. I think I ordered on Tuesday night, and when I got back from work today, it was here. So I will show you that as well. So I saw this skein in her store, and I just had to have it. I'm actually going to unwrap these. This is, I think, the first time that I bought a merino and bamboo, a wool and bamboo sock blend. So it's 60% wool, 25% bamboo, 15% polyamide. But the colorway is cotton candy, and how fun is this? It's super speckled, and I just had to have it. This is just so fun, and I absolutely love it. And I also got another skein. Yes, I kind of went overboard, but I just really like how what Clara is doing, and obviously had too much time on Etsy. So I also got this one. This one is called Baby Mermaid. Again, how awesome are all these names? They're so good. And this is just really soft, beautiful colors, and this is again in her merino polyamide sock blend. So I have quite a lot of yarn from Clara now. Definitely do check out her Etsy store. It's called Studio C Yarn, and I will link it in the show notes. Clara, thank you so much for donating a prize for the knit-along. Most likely this will be used for the Keeping It Vanilla cow. I haven't decided 100%, but I think that's what I'll be doing. So thank you so much, and I hope that you guys will check out her Etsy store. That's it for my acquisitions, and I'm just surrounded by yarn right now, which is kind of insane, but I don't care. So all that's left to talk about now is life in general, which is my section in which I just talk about whatever's been going on. So this is definitely not fiber related. So if you're only here for the knitting content, that's absolutely fine. I hope you have a great week or two until I see you again. Happy knitting! And if you do want to stick around, I'll just briefly talk about what's been happening. And as usual, I'm doing this completely off the cuff. If I just sat down like 5 minutes before the podcast to think about it, this would be so much easier. Anyways, so I recorded about 2 weeks ago, and ever since I've been busy with work. Work has been going really good. Honestly, I feel like sometime in the last 2 weeks, it just kind of, I don't know, I flipped a switch and suddenly everything makes a lot more sense, and I'm doing so many things at work and meeting customers and clients, and it's really fun. It's definitely a lot of work, and I have been really, really exhausted. I've had a few long days as well, but I'm really getting into it now, and I know what I'm doing, and I have way more responsibility. I'm actually really surprised at how much responsibility I am getting after only like 5 or 6 weeks of working there. But yeah, it's been going really good. The only downside is that I barely have had time to knit, which really sucks. I'll be honest, I just really want more hours in the day. But what can we do? And then last weekend, we actually drove up to my family's place. So I haven't actually been home or in my hometown since Christmas, I believe. And I really wanted to catch up with some of my family and my grandparents. So we drove up Friday night after work, which was a little bit insane because it was also the beginning of the holidays here in Germany. But we got through, and essentially we just hung out at my place. Kai visited some friends in Würzburg, which is not too far from where we live, and that's where we met and where I studied and so on. But I really just try to keep it chill, and I hang out with my family and with my sisters, and I met with my grandparents. I gave my grandma another pair of socks that I knit for her, and she was really excited about that. And it was just really lovely to spend some time with them, because I don't see them that often, and whenever I do see my family, it tends to be pretty much like we see each other for this amount of time and then we're off again, because we're all pretty busy. So it was really nice to spend 3 days at or 2.5 days at my family's place. And the weather was great, so we hung out outside a lot. I went penny boarding with my sisters. I still can't believe that I haven't like broken anything. I was really expecting to, but it was so fun. What else? We went to a wellness thermal bath swimming thing, and I'm definitely not. All the words are escaping me, but it was nice. Oh my gosh, this is so confusing today. Anyways, and then obviously I was back to work on Monday. Kai actually was off work all week, which was kind of mean, especially because we've been having amazing weather, so he was like doing all these amazing things, and I was stuck at work, but hey, such is life. And I'm really excited today because today is Thursday, but because of Easter we have a 4-day weekend, and I so need it. I am so ready for the weekend. I desperately need some relaxation time because, like I said, it's been busy. So I finished work today, and we're going out for dinner tonight because today marks 1 year since Kai got his dream job. And you might still remember, if you've been watching this podcast for a very long time, you might remember how he, in the beginning of last year, quit what he was doing and searched for a new job, and it was all pretty exciting. And that's also why we moved to Munich. So exactly 1 year ago, we found out that we were moving here, which is fun. So we're going out for dinner, and then tomorrow and on Saturday, we will actually be in Karlsruhe, visiting friends, friends of Kai's, in fact. I haven't met them before, but I'm very excited to see them. So yeah, that should be nice. And then on Sunday and Monday, because Monday is off as well, or it's a public holiday, I'm just so excited to be at home and knit and hopefully have nice weather and just hang out. I'm really looking forward to that. So essentially that's what's been going on. I'm in desperate need for some knitting time, maybe a knitcation over the weekend. And I'm so happy that I managed to podcast. I really miss talking to you guys. So as usual, please get in touch. I always love hearing from you guys. I hope that you're as excited as I am about the Keeping It Vanilla Cal. I'll definitely go and plan what I'll be casting on for that very soon. Most likely tonight. So until I see you next, which likely will be next weekend. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. Happy knitting. Bye.